So the first thing to do is to be able to run a C program. Now, these days you can just run C code online. So if you search on the internet for C compiler, so this is how you spell compiler, or even if you type run C online, you'll get several pages where you can just run C code online. So for example, I clicked on the first one, and you'll see I have some code here, and I can just click run, and you'll see, hey, it ran the code, it outputs hello world. So this is just the same as you would run it on your computer. So I can type whatever I want here. And I click run, and you'll see it run that code. Now there are multiple C compilers available online. So for example, the second one, we have some code here, and if I click run, it shows the output on the side. So you can run C online, which is like easy because it saves you some setup time of installing the required programming tools on your computer. Now, a programming tool I use on my computer is called Visual Studio Code, which lets me run all kind of code. And so I'm using that program, and that program looks like this. And I can have several files here, I can have code, and I can click run, and it will output the output on the bottom there. So it just depends on what you prefer. I prefer writing codes on my computer, but you can run C code online, which saves you from the installation step. So when you use a programming tool like Visual Studio Code, you need to install it on your computer. If you run C online, you can just run code. So this saves you from some time. Now note that I use the word compiler. So when you have a compiler, it takes code as input. It takes code as input, and what it does is it turns that into a computer program. So you see the 0, 1, so computer code. So a compiler is a program that turns computer code, so C code, into a computer program that you can run on your computer or someone else's computer. So running online is what I recommend because you don't have to do much. You can just type code and click run. So if you're totally new to C, that's what I recommend. You can just type whatever code you want, click run, and it will output that on your computer. You can use a programming tool if you want, which you have an additional installation step that takes some time. And once it's installed, you'll see it recommends platforms. There's other platforms, so you can run it on Windows, on Linux, on Mac. And this program just lets you write code and output that. Now, if you're a Linux user, you can also write code in the terminal. So you can write some code. I will go more into the code in the next lectures. This is just to show you when you have when on Linux. So this is only for Linux users. You can type gcc -o hello, and that will create the hello world program. So if I execute it, it will run hello as output. Now you might also have GCC on Mac OS X, so you can try it on Apple Mac OS X. However, I'm not sure it's there. But for Linux, you can use GCC. If you want to work in the terminal, you can do that. However, if you're new to C programming, I really recommend just running it online because it saves you from all the installation hassle or typing commands in the command line. You can just type code and click run.